Hello my friends, my name is Benjamin Schrader and as always, it is good to see you. Today I have a fantastic topic in store. We're going to talk about how to have a circle of friends and also how to depend on yourself. First, we're going to talk about the importance of having friends, I always say comrades, but having some friends, having some guys or girls that you can depend on. Now, how are you going to get these friends and how are you going to keep these friends? Well, you need to be charismatic. That's one of the biggest things. So you want to smile, you want to be nice. It's very simple, very, very simple, but it's also very complicated. When you're finding a circle of friends, you want to find people that have similar interests to you, people that are like-minded. I have found that for myself, that's very important. I have a circle of friends. Some of them like to make YouTube videos, others are interested in martial arts, some are like debate and things like that with me. And so that's very important that people are relatively similar to you. Now, it doesn't have to be 100%, but it's nice to have a few things in common. This is very helpful along being very nice, being charismatic. Now, never being a pushover, because if you have friends that you're just a pushover to that don't respect you, it's never going to end well. It's just you're going to be used, you're going to be played, and it's not going to be good. And that's very important. Also, with any relationships in dating, that same thing applies. But most importantly, with friends. I'm a firm believer that friends are extremely important. But also, there's something we all have to remember. Friends can only go so far. Family reaches another level. But then for you, yourself, no one will take better care of you than you. Nobody can you depend on more than yourself. That's why it's so important to be the best version of yourself and to really always put your best foot forward. Because only you can depend on you. Very important to remember that. You can get all the outside help in the world. You see this with some children who are born to like a billionaire and they inherit a ton of money but they have no drive. Then they do nothing with their lives. You can see this with all sorts of people. People that are amazing, have an amazing talent, amazing baseball player, but then messes up his entire life because he's made a bunch of mistakes because he doesn't care, because he's not dedicated enough. Also, to go along the lines with this dedication and how important that is, not only must you be extremely dedicated, you have to block out the haters and you have to fundamentally be able to push forward. There were so many people in my life who have said, Ben, you'll be terrible at YouTube, especially back in my days when I was a lot younger, said, Ben, you'll never be able to do it. I didn't listen to them, and you're watching me right now, probably on YouTube, maybe somewhere else, but probably on YouTube. And that's amazing. A key is to block out the haters and push forward. You don't want friends that are going to bring you down. I've talked about this a lot. If a friend is negative, if a friend pulls you down, that is not somebody you want around. Very, very important to remember that. In one of my earliest videos, I talked about that. One of the key things that you must remember is that you must be able to adapt in your environment to survive. Whether it is with friends, because some friends you might have for a period of time in your life, then you'll move on. Some of your friends, and I guarantee this, will betray you, and they will not be friends anymore. There will be some people that you will have for years and years as friends, and that is fantastic. Lifelong friends. But you must always be able to adapt. You know, I had a very interesting experience once. I was talking with a man. We were in a little conversation. I didn't know him well. We just met and we were talking. And he was telling me that it's very difficult to meet people after high school. That it's very difficult to meet friends after high school and college. And I paused and, I don't mean to trash him in the least. God bless him. But I have a little saying, and it's that I can never submit to what the world says I have to do. Or in this case, what this man was saying, and I think a lot of people would have agreed with him. But I say, why does it have to be that way, that after high school and college you can't have any friends? Because your career is too strenuous? Then find a career that isn't too strenuous. Then find an outlet, a way to win. Become an entrepreneur, that's what I want to do. Do something like that. Find a way to win. Or, or, adapt to your situation. Adapt so that you are happiest. Adapt and change and morph Don't be locked in a single position. You know, Charles Darwin, one of the most respected scientists of all time, up there with Einstein and all the greats, he said, it is not, and I'm paraphrasing him, it's not the strongest that survive, but it is those that are most able to adapt that survive, that are able to change. I want to talk about, I know probably a lot of you guys know Charlie Chaplin, did a lot of the silent films, really silly guy, God bless him, I'm sure he was a relatively okay guy. Don't really know anything about him except that he was in the silent films. Silent films, all that, it's great. But a time came in history when there was something called the talkies. The talkies. Now, what were these? These were films with words in them, what we have today. I love the movies. Always going. Just saw, what did I just say? I just saw Jack Reacher. It was pretty good. So all of these talkies, these movies where people are talking. And there was another guy, I forget his name. But a lot of the actors that were in the silent films were not very good in the talkies. They either had really squeaky voices or they couldn't remember lines or whatever it was. Now they could not adapt. They could not change. And so they went extinct. Silent films went extinct just like a species that could not adapt would go extinct. Just like you could go in your happiness extinct if you are not able to adapt, if you are not able to change. For me, when I was a very young boy, diagnosed with dyslexia, I had to leave school, I had to become homeschooled, I had to get reading therapy, I had to adapt to a new environment. I had to change, I had to morph. That's so important that you are able to do that. Look at now, look at modern day. You've got your YouTube, you've got your YouTubers, you've got your bloggers. At first, well, let me back up just a smidgen. You had TV. So you had your movies, then you had TV, really popular late night shows, things like that. But then this thing burst onto the scene called YouTube. And anybody was able to make videos. You, me, everybody. Everybody had that ability to have their own little TV channel. You could think of the best UHQ as like a TV channel that you're tuning into. Then TV companies were losing a lot of revenue. So now, I'm sure, probably when you open YouTube to watch this video or this popped up in your recommended list, there was probably like the Late Night Show or some TV show or the Ellen Show that also popped up. TV companies have adapted to be on YouTube. Look at bloggers. Blogging was the big thing. Blogging is still big, but it's in a massive decline because of a saturated market. So many of those bloggers moved to YouTube, and if they were not able to move, their company, their brand, and their product went extinct. Look at it, just a few days ago, Meerkat went bankrupt. Now, Meerkat was an app that I had. I have Periscope, I have Meerkat, Meerkat, what am I saying? I'm really into social media myself. I love it. You know, live streaming is a real part of it now. It's really coming into fashion. They say VR and live streaming are the things of the future. So are you going to be able to adapt as someone who wants to be the best version of themselves? And as me personally, you know, I'm really into entrepreneurship. Maybe you are too. If you are, I think that's fantastic. As an entrepreneur, are you going to be able to adapt to take those things on? That's what you have to ask yourself. My friends, you are the best. As always, it is an absolute pleasure to be with you. Now, wait, let me pull this up on my phone. There was a quote. I just got the new phone. There was a quote I wanted to read. You guys know I'm a fan. I know a lot of people don't like him. I'm a fan of Tai Lopez. I think he's neat. I think he does want to make some money, but God bless him. Who doesn't? Now, this was a quote that he read. I forget where he read it from, but I'll sort of give him credit for it. When you succeed, you party. When you fail, you ponder. And let me tell you, my friends, I have pondered a lot. Everyone needs to get a good bit of pondering in their lives. You are the best. As always, I will see you in the next video.